Hey there, ACH 100. We are going to start building our site model and our massing models. So in week 13 of your folder, there's the calculations and list for your final project. This has lots of good info in it. And it is, let's click here and zoom in. So the floor area ratio of 0.75 as per the R3 of the zoning ordinance, we discussed that earlier. The floor area ratio equals the gross building floor area divided by the total property area. And in our case, they told us in the zoning ordinance that we had the 0.75, and we know that the lot is 34 feet by 100 feet, so we have a total property area of 3,400 square feet. So we are trying to solve for the gross building floor area, and when we solve for X like this, we determine that the total square footage allowed on the lot on all floors is 2,550. They also told us in the zoning ordinance that we were allowed to cover 25% of the lot, and 3,400 times 0.25 equals 850 square feet as a footprint on the lot. We also discussed the setbacks found in the zoning ordinance: a front yard of 20 feet, a rear yard of 10 feet, and side yards of 5 feet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to a new SketchUp model, and we're going to build our site first. So we're going to get our rectangle tool and head in the direction we want to go and type in 34 feet, 100 feet. Now let's push that down, let's say 2 feet for now. And let's triple click, right click, and make it a group so it doesn't stick to anything else. And let's go ahead and just to make this more playful, instead of looking at a blank screen, we will find some grass. So landscaping, whoops, landscaping. We'll paint it on top, and then we'll put some, maybe some dirt underneath. There you go. Okay, now where our fella is standing is going to be Florida Street, and back here will be Ellesmere Alley. So we need to find our setbacks. So we click into the group and grab our tape measure tool, and it was a 20-foot front yard and 5 feet and 5 feet for the side yards and 10 feet for the rear yard. Now let's grab a rectangle and put it on that area, and now let's pick this and make this, the grass is really green so we know the difference. Okay. So this is the area on which we can build our house. Now we are also going to build the adjacent properties. Let's get rid of some of these guides. Delete guides. Now on this page, 724 Florida Street had a footprint. We looked that up on the PVA. The house was 24 wide and 44 deep. The front porch was 8 feet deep and 24 feet wide, and the rear porch was 6 feet by 8 feet. And then 718 Florida, the house was 14 feet wide and 46 feet deep. The front porch 6 feet by 14 feet. That was an estimation not included on the PVA. And it did have a rear addition on it, but it looked like that was part of the 46 feet when I measured it. So let's work on the Florida Street and put that in our model. Let's grab another rectangle and head in this direction. We determined that that was 34 feet by 100 feet as well when we measured it on the Map It, and we'll push that down. Triple click, right click, and make it a group. We will go to our materials, and we'll just paint this one all green for now. It also has the same setbacks since it's in the zoning, the same zone R3, but it was built prior to the zoning ordinance. It is way up here. So we're not even going to bother putting the setbacks on there because it was built prior to the setbacks. And then this one over here, this lot was 18 feet wide, so we can grab this, hit Control, and move this over here. And then we'll triple click into the group, use our tape measure tool, and do 18 feet. And push this over here. And now we have the tiny house lot to our right. So let's build these properties so that we have an idea of the scale of things, because that's going to help us design our own property. So the footprint, as we read, was 14 feet by 46 feet. And if you go to the Google Street View, you put in the address and you go to the Street View, you can look around and you can eyeball things and determine heights. So we know that doors are 6'8" on residential, 7 feet on commercial typically. So this is an 8-foot tall wall. And then it has a roof slope of probably 6 and 12. So let's go back here. Let's stretch this up to 8 feet. And then we'll zoom in and use our tape measure tool and go 12 and 6 and connect the dots. It looks like it might be more than that, 12, and we already have the 6 and connect the dots. I think it's steeper than that. So let's go back here. Let's try 9. So wherever the diagonal crosses there, that looks about right. And this crosses there. There we go. So let's delete these. They aren't in our group, so we can delete those. And then we can draw a line right down the middle and pick that line and our move tool and pop it right up to there. There we go. We're going to triple click, right click, and make it a group. And then let's delete these guides. We're going to center it on the lot. And it is all the way up at the front property line except for the front porch, which is 6 feet. So we'll push this thing back 6 feet. And let's go back here and look at the street view. It's just a little shed roof. Now it looks like it's maybe, wow, not even 6 feet. It looks like it might be 3 or 4 feet. And then another couple of feet to the property line. So let's go back here. Since this is 6 feet, we will come back this way 4 feet. Let's use our tape measure tool some more. It is always our friend. And then we'll create a rectangle for the porch. And we'll bring it up 12 inches, let's say. And triple click. Come on, triple click. There we go. Right click and make it a group. And then we'll come up here to the top of the wall with our tape measure tool. Now we have a horizontal there, and let's say the roof structure is only about 6 inches deep. And we will, I just remembered we did not move this up a foot. This whole house is sitting up a foot off the ground. So we're going to move it up the 12 inches. And then we'll come in here, triple click, and then pull this down because the floor is not sitting on the ground. So from the top of the porch to the top of the wall is 8 feet. So let's move these back up, pick those, move those up. There we go. Then we'll do a rectangle, and we'll stretch it out the 4 feet. And we can just grab the end and hit the move tool and just go straight down. Make sure we're on the blue axis. You can lock it in there. And we'll just say 4 inches, just so we have a little bit of a roof slope. And then we can triple click, right click, and make it a group. And then we can pick the porch and the massing and right click and make it a group. And we can delete our guides. And that gives us an idea of scale for that little property. If you were in class, I asked you to locate the doors and the windows too, which you can estimate from looking at the side views. And I'll let you put those in there. I'm not going to do it in this video. If you were in class, we did it. Now, let's do this one. So we go back over to our file, and it says that that one is 24 by 44. So let's go here. We'll use a rectangle tool just anywhere on this lot for now. We'll say 24 feet, comma 44 feet. And then we'll bring it up a foot to start with so that it's off the grade. And then we know that by looking at the street view again, that these are probably 8-foot ceilings with 1 foot of structure, and then 8-foot ceilings. So we're going to go up here and we're going to bring this up another 8 feet, and then another 12 inches for the second floor structure, and then another 8 feet. And then we'll draw our line down the middle. And this one looked a little less steep than this one. This one was 9 and 12. We'll try this one at 8 and 12. So get your tape measure tool and you go over 12 and up 8 and over 12, and you already have the up 8, and that will give you the roof on that one. Pick the line and pop it up into place. Let's see if that looks correct. No, I don't think that that roof is an 8 and 12. I think maybe it's a 6 and 12. Let's go back here. We will pop this back down. We will delete this line. Let's try 6 and 12. So we grab this and go up 6. Delete this as well. Go back to our tape measure tool. Connect the dots. Delete this one. Tape measure tool. Connect the dots. Yeah, that looks about right. Now we'll pick our line and our move tool and pop it up into place. Okay. Triple click, right click, and make it a group. Now the front porch, as per the PVA, was 8 feet deep and 24 feet wide. So we'll go back here. Ooh, let's get rid of some of those guides. And we will go to our rectangle tool, pick on a corner and head in the direction we want to go and say 24 feet, 8 feet. And then we'll come up 12 inches off of grade. And that will be the front porch. Make group. And then from here, we'll come up 8 feet. And then we'll come up another, let's look at this. Let's go over here. Look back. So this one is more of a triangle on the side. This one does not. So let's see if we can go even further down and look back. There we go. So we're just looking to mass out that triangle. So we'll come back to here and let's start with 6 inches and we'll do our rectangle across and we'll stretch it out to the depth of the porch, and then we can pick the top line and the move tool. We can bring it up, and I think that's probably about 2'4". And that gives us an idea of the front porch. We can triple click, right click, and make it a group. We can go back around here to the back porch. And it was 6 by 8. So I believe it was 8 feet wide and 6 feet deep. And we'll make it the 12 inches. Triple click, right click, and make it a group. Let's go over here and see if we can see that back porch at all. We can't see it from here, but if we go back to here and maybe go to the aerial view and zoom in, let's see. Very hard to tell what's going on there. I wonder if we can see it from the alley or if it will let us go to the alley. Let's see. And drop on the alley. Spin around here. We're behind the garage. Let's head this way and look back. Okay, there we go. We have a little gable over that porch. So we'll come back here. Take our tape measure tool. We'll go up 8 feet. And then we'll go up 6 inches to start with. And use our tape measure tool to pop over to the edge of the porch at the bottom. Grab our rectangle tool and pull it out. Now we can use our line tool down the middle. And let's make it the same slope as the other roof, so we can grab our tape measure tool and bring it down here to the edge, and grab this edge and bring it down here to this one. And then we can pick this line and pop it up to there. And then we can delete the guides. Triple click, right click, and make it a group. Now let's pick everything. The house, the porch roof, that, the front porch roof, and the bottom. And let's make it all a group so it all moves together. And let's look at this again from the street view. Let's go back, go to the front street view. And this looks like it is a foot or two off of the property line. So we'll grab it with our move tool and let's pop it to the front and put it in the middle. And then we'll take it back maybe 2 feet. Now that gives us our neighbors. Look at the difference in scale between the neighbor on the left and the neighbor on the right. Most of the houses on this street, if you'll look, are smaller. Smaller homes, 1 story or 1.5 story. This is what happens when somebody starts getting a little greedy. Not really in scale with the street. Okay, that's all we're going to do in this video. In the next video, we will look at our massings.